If you know me, you know that I am very passionate about my morning routine and packing as much into my morning as possible to make sure that I have a lovely and peaceful and productive rest of my day. And we have seen so many routines. We've seen so many people discuss their morning routines and little tips and tricks that you can do to make you have the most energy throughout the day and be the most productive. Now, I don't necessarily believe in being the most productive at all times. I also love to be in a state of peace and rest. There's enough stress in my life. I don't want to have to worry about making sure I'm doing 70,000 different things within the span of a morning to make me the most productive and highly efficient human being on the planet. However, I did want to test a few little things and see if it would compel me to make some tweaks to my already existing morning routine. So I decided to look up the daily routine that gives me the optimum productivity throughout my day. Obviously, this was largely inspired by many of the tips and tricks offered by Andrew Huberman, and then there's always a few floating bits and tricks that we see all over TikTok. And from the plethora of wellness and fitness and health and longevity content that is blasting all over the internet nowadays. So I put together a little morning routine and wanted to time it out and see if I could make it through this optimal productivity morning routine that allegedly is backed by science. So starting off our morning with an alarm and following the little Mel Robbins tip to get up within 5 seconds of your alarm going off.
So I can't just lay here at all? I need like a minute to open my eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Now, this is something that never used to bother me. I was always a one alarm kind of gal, but for whatever reason, over the last few months, Dan and I have been a little bit more lazy when it comes to the morning. We often set a little snooze alarm or two and just lay there and take some extra time to wake up, which I see nothing wrong with, but this has led me to sleep in many times, and this can also make me unwillingly sleep through my workout sometimes. So definitely wanted to get up right away and follow that alarm.
I did lay out my workout clothes the night before to make my life easier right now.
Hi, Meryl. Hi. Hello. Hey, what are you doing? Oh my god, she has never scratched on my boucle chair ever. Meryl!
Okay, good morning, world. 6:08 a.m. and I am ready.
The next thing that we do right upon waking is to make sure that we are hydrating.
With a large glass of water with electrolytes or lemon. Okay. I'm gonna also add my creatine to that because I take that every day. Whatever floats your boat. In the morning cuppa.
So this is something I do anyway. I am a very thirsty gal and I drink lots of water. I also track my water intake, but I don't necessarily actively guzzle a lot of water.
I need to like chug this right now.
Like I will take some sips. So sitting there and making a point to like guzzle and actually hydrate myself and have some full electrolytes first thing, that was something I've never done.
The speed of drinking this is just gonna make me burp. I don't like that one bit. I am not a chugger. I am a sipper.
And at the same time, we're also delaying our caffeine intake, which is something that, I'm taking with a grain of salt because the people who are saying to delay your caffeine intake are also not necessarily the people who are working out first thing. I find a lot of people, Huberman included, do their workouts later in the day and therefore delaying their caffeine intake is totally fine if you are having a slower morning. I so don't mind delaying my morning coffee if I'm having a slower morning, but on the mornings where I'm getting up early and I'm going to tennis first thing or I'm going to the gym first thing, oh man, I live off of my coffee and pre-workout. So that is definitely something that I do not implement in my morning routine and proved to be a little bit difficult for me to get through. But apparently delaying your caffeine works because your cortisol peaks naturally in the morning, and delaying your caffeine avoids those energy crashes in the afternoon and builds a more stable alertness curve. So you're basically just extending your energy throughout the day. Apparently, if you are delaying your caffeine intake at least 60 to 90 minutes after waking up. Listen, I survived the caffeine delay and I definitely started my day feeling very, very hydrated. Next up, we got to get 10 to 15 minutes outside and getting that natural sunlight.
I always laugh when I see people on a podcast say this because I'm like, you live in LA, don't you? But apparently it counts even with cloud cover, so 10 to 15 minutes, perfect. I'm gonna use that time to water the plant earth children. Yes, Mara, please join me. We gotta get that sunlight in our retinas.
Set a timer for 10 minutes. And I can definitely get on board with this one because there is nothing that boosts my mood quite like waking up to some morning sunlight, so I 100% believe that. And I also live in a place where it rains and is dark and gloomy for 6 months out of the year, so seasonal depression is a thing. And I would absolutely, happily, no problem, no questions asked, start my day with sunlight every single day.
That's the timer. Look at that. Are my retinas filled with daylight? It's filled with a hair, that's what I know. I need to get this out.
The next is to also start your morning with some movement. Now, depending on the season, this could look like some stretching, some yoga, going out for a nice brisk walk. As Huberman said, it's your forward ambulation. You want to experience visual flow. And this light movement or exercise first thing boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factor, dopamine, and endorphins, all which enhance mood, memory, and attention span throughout the day. That sounds great to me.
Cool, well, let's go for a 10-minute brisk walk. I'm gonna turn on outdoor walk, and just to make up for camera setup time, set a timer for 12 minutes. Let's go brisk walk. I am certainly feeling forwardly ambulated at this early morning hour. I guess if you're a dog person, you experience this often, just getting up straight away in the morning and going out for a little stroll. I never do this. Going outside for a little walksies before I start my day, never. It's so nice. I'm breathing in the fresh air. I feel so refreshed. Okay, I ended up doing a 16-minute walk. And when I came home from that walk, I felt amazing. That was lovely. I feel like I have so much oxygen going straight to my brain. That's nice. I'm certainly not used to this pace in the morning, I have to say it. Normally I just wake up and sit in the car and drive for half an hour to tennis, and that's my time to, like, you know, kind of wake up and come to. But getting up first thing and going straight to it, wow. Looks like we need to get a dog. So following this, I jumped straight into my workout, and obviously everyone's routine is going to be different depending on what they do for work and what their workout routines look like. But for me, whether it's science-backed or not, I love to get my workout done first thing in the morning because it is something that I will dread throughout the day if I don't get it over with. And I have to say that this feels so wrong without caffeine.
I almost never work out without my coffee first or some pre-workout, and that usually gives me a little buzz and gets me going. Trying to work myself up to do a leg day right now with no caffeine in my body. What am I supposed to do without my caffeine buzz? Also, we are in my garage, so if you see a glimpse of the giant pile of garbage on the side, please ignore. If I have to, there are times where I do my workouts at night, but I just feel like it's just not the same as getting your workout done in the morning. And sometimes I'll be sitting there in the afternoon and I'll remember that I've already finished my workout for the day, and I'm like, we did it! The hardest part of my day is over. Everything after this is gravy, especially on a leg day.
To keep up with our schedule for the morning, I gotta get right in, hop in the shower.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling really, really sleepy. Can you see by my eyes? Oh baby, I am ready for that coffee, but I'm gonna get my shower in so it's out of the way and I don't procrastinate it anymore. And can I also just say that I will certainly not be doing a cold shower this morning. I've seen all the videos saying that you need to have a cold shower to live and be productive and to be your best, blah, blah, blah. I saw that one video from Dr. Stacey Sims where she said that I prefer heat for women. And I was like, finally someone who understands us, because that's how I feel inside. It's one thing to ask me to give up coffee first thing in the morning. It's quite another to ask me to blast my face and body with freezing cold water, or to go outside and plunge into the depths of the cold waves. And I will certainly not be partaking. Thank you so much. Coming straight to get dressed, because whether it's science or not, if you are someone who works from home and often sits and spends all day in your sweatpants or your pajama pants like I do, like so often when I'm at home filming, I only ever get ready from the top up if I need to, or you have other days I just don't get dressed at all and I stay in my sweatpants. Getting dressed just instantly makes you feel more productive. It makes me feel like I'm more put together on the outside, which just in turn has an immediate effect on how I feel on the inside. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I put on a pair of loose, comfy jeans that also feel like sweatpants and a little t-shirt, and I'm ready to go. I'm gonna put some little slippy slides on, and that'll make me feel more productive too. Okay, time for coffee. My first sip of coffee of the day. I guess it makes it taste just that much sweeter. I also have to be honest with you guys, I don't know if it was just the chugging the water first thing, but I have already peed so many times this morning, and I have to pee again. Oh my gosh, I like it. So next up, to maximize the optimal productivity throughout the day, is to follow the ultradian rhythm work cycles. Now, allegedly, our brain works in 90 to 120 minute focus bursts, followed by a natural dip. So if you wanted to work with the natural energy that your body is giving you, apparently we're gonna take it in cycles like this. And this is something that I have absolutely never tried, and I've also never timed, so I was really looking forward to seeing what this looked like throughout the day. Now I'm gonna head into the office and I'm gonna begin my first work cycle. Oh. So I've got my coffee, I've got my laptop stationed here, and I actually did time this perfectly because I do have a meeting at 9. Nothing will get you ready for your first work block like a Zoom meeting. So I'm gonna guzzle this. My meeting's gonna be about an hour, so just to follow along with like the 90-minute cycles and then timing your breaks, I'm just gonna set a timer for 90 minutes and then I will make sure to get some emails done right after my meeting. Set a timer for an hour and a half. It's almost 10:30. My timer's gonna go off in 3 minutes, but I just have to say, I am like vibrating. I don't know what the difference was of having my coffee later, but I feel it so much more in my body right now. I'm literally like, I actually feel like I have so much energy. I am like also so giddy. My mood is so high. Here's the thing though, I don't know if it's because I'm filming it. Like obviously me filming a video and like showing you guys the timing, that's gonna force me to do it and to stick to it. Could I do this without the purpose of filming? I don't know. I'm gonna have to test myself and see how that goes. But so far so good. I've had such a great productive little 90 minutes here. I feel like I'm on cloud 9, truly. And yeah, I just thought I would send that report. I'm literally jittery with excitement right now. It's shaping up to be a beautiful day already. And I am also very ready for breakfast. Breakfast time! I had to put the apron on because I put a white shirt on and I must protect that. But breakfast of champions right here. These breakfast burritos bring me so much life. Ah! I was about to take a bite for you here, but I also saw something about focused eating and making sure that you're doing all your chewing and blah, 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 blah. But to not be distracted while eating my breakfast, to sit here, enjoy my breakfast. To eat your food with intention and to chew lots. Okay, fine. Does this count as meditation? I am so sorry because my breakfast / my second working block was actually interrupted because we had guys coming in to do some bits in the bathroom. They were finishing up our beautiful glass, doing all the little silicone bits and then adding in our hardware. So listen, when you have ongoing renovations in your house, people are in and out. I apologize, that did disturb my timer thus far this morning, but it's worth it because we have bits being put in. So I've also just made a second coffee because I'm a caffeine addict. And they didn't say anything about timing the second and third coffees, okay? But trying to have it earlier than later so that it doesn't affect my sleep later tonight. So let us embark for the work block number 2 with coffee number 2. Now I will say that with these ultradian rhythms and the 90-minute work blocks followed by 10 to 15 minutes of rest / movement, just taking a break in between those 90-minute cycles of work, I feel like that would apply to someone like Dan more than it applies to me. When Dan is sitting there editing for like 8 to 10 hours straight every single day, he can definitely benefit from doing that kind of cyclical pattern and doing the 90 minutes on, 15 minutes off, 90 minutes on, 15 minutes off. That works for him and I think applies to him more than it does for me because when I'm like filming videos in chunks, sometimes it takes me longer to set up and film than 90 minutes. Sometimes I'm doing a video like today where I am filming all day and then also doing bits in between. So I love the idea of taking that timed time to do focused work, whatever that may be. But I think it would be better for me when I'm doing things like emails, like when I'm sitting on my computer, or I'm doing things like admin and taxes and whatever, or just any kind of focused blocks of work to just make sure that in between each of those things, I am taking some time to get some movement in, taking a little break, putting the computer off for a second, and also just getting the movement in. I love that idea of like taking those breaks to get some little bursts of movement, bursts of walks, getting those steps in, you know what I'm saying? But also just taking some screen breaks. It's a good reminder to not just sit at your desk for hours and hours and hours at a time. So for days like today, when I have a heavy filming day, I'm technically already timing and grouping my work chunks because I'm like, okay, I'm filming this video, I have to do this. And then I take a little break for lunch and then it's like, okay, I have to film that video. So I love the idea of it. Does it apply to me fully? No, but that's the beauty of kind of consuming content like this, is that it might not necessarily 100% apply to you and what you're doing, but you can take take little bits of it, be inspired by it, make some little tweaks and changes to the routine that you're already doing, and hopefully it'll have a positive impact. So with that being said, I'm gonna dive into filming this next video. I'm doing a little makeup video, and hopefully I'll be able to do it before the contractor gets back for the day. And so now we're here. I just successfully finished my third timed work block of the day. And as for an afternoon update, I am feeling amazing. I've had my second coffee, I've had my lunch. I did a little laptop time on the treadmill following lunch to make sure that I got that post-meal movement to help with digestion and also to help fight off that afternoon slump. What a difference. Usually at this point, my eyes would be sagging. I would be ready to hit the couch for a nap or having my third coffee of the day or an energy drink. And I actually feel like I could run a marathon right now. I have so much energy. Is it a combination of all the things? Was it just the caffeine delay? Was it just the excitement of filming this video and just generally having a switch up of my routine? Or was it just the accomplishment and the joy that I'm feeling about having done this morning that I was dreading and very scared to try? It could be all of the above, but needless to say, I have had the most lovely morning, and I am definitely going to be implementing some of these tips into my morning routine going forward because I feel so good. And whether or not any of these tips can apply to you in your day, just actively trying to recognize when you need to take a break in your work day, trying to add more movement throughout your day, and then being aware of the things that you are putting into your body and the timing that works best for you can have an insane difference in your day. So this was so fun, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to whoever it was who recommended that I try a productivity routine during this month of Everyday May, because this was so fun, and it's something that I'm gonna have to keep testing out and see which of these tips and habits stick in my everyday morning routine. So if there's any tips that you think I missed, please let me know. If there's any part of your morning routine or your day that you absolutely swear by and you think I need to try, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for a new Everyday May video. Bye!